It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They go play action now. Jackson. Throw out wide to Walker. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson. Flushed out right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So this matchup, the second of 3 games in London this year. Vikings and Saints were here last week, and then the Broncos and Jags, they'll be at Wembley at the end of the month. Plus this year, remember, a 4th European game, our first one ever in Munich, Germany. That'll be the Bucs and the Seahawks November 13th. On 3rd down, Jackson. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this.
Touchdown, Giants! Kenneth Walker, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Oh, Cohen lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. This defense for the Packers, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And they needed to be because their offense struggled throughout the game. Sometimes as a defense, you're not just shutting down the opposing team's offense, but you have to outplay their defense as well, and that's what they did in their last game.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Here's Walker. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
On second and goal, Jackson steps away to his left. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. They'll try and run Walker. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Ken Walker with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Giants have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. First and 10. Here's Carr. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game. I'm looking at this one with my defensive eyeglasses on, because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. On play action, it's Carr. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 10 now from the 27. Play action. Now it's Carr. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see? Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. On 2nd and 9, Jackson eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there for the Giants. 63 yards. We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play. Walker. Fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2? Maybe even 3 more plays. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Walker once more, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Kenneth Walker on his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Giants take a 3-touchdown lead. Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 21-0. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on. It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? Second down, they go right back to Cook. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Well, he's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. Fourth down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Play action. It's Jackson. He completes this to Walker. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Ken Walker on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Giants continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it. And then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it. But I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for them on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. Isaiah Oliver there on the tackle. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Report. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Walker with another carry. Carl Nassib there on the tackle. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Hey, come on.
Throwing is Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick is indeed good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. Well, Charles, I think things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled him with the inside run.
He's going deep for Brown. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Again, it's Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 61 yards rushing for him now to this point. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Right now.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
13 yards, first down, Packers. They run the counter with Cook. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Santos able to tack on the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On second down, it's Walker. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Hey, middle. No, we change it.
Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. Looking deep for Julio. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On play action, now Carr. David Ojabo brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 4th down. They do go for it. It's Carr. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. How about this starting field position? 1st and goal from 2 yards out.
Hey, report. Finish it off.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Kenneth Walker taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now Carr, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert.